Boo.
With that being said, though, it's your time. Is this something completely different? Are we on the same top? Is it going to...
It's international, but it's something completely different.
Let's try to get the music going. Last story of the night.
All right, so this is Japanese Hotel Hidden Camera. I arrived in Tokyo after a long flight, exhausted and in need of a place to rest my head. As I wandered through the busy streets, I stumbled upon a capsule hotel. If you haven't heard about them before, they're basically a type of budget accommodation popular in Japan where you sleep in a tight coffin-like pod. It's obviously not the most comfortable way to sleep, but I was intrigued by the concept and I decided to give it a try. As I walked through the doors of the hotel, the smell of cleaning products and the sound of muffled chatter filled the air. The receptionist, dressed in a traditional Japanese kimono, greeted me with a polite bow and led me to my pod. The pod was small and compact, with just enough space for me to lie down and sleep. The walls were made of plastic, and the roof was a soft cushion that was pretty much molded to my body. But the bedding was surprisingly comfortable, and the blanket was thick and warm. Nevertheless, despite my exhaustion, I couldn't ignore the feeling of being trapped. The pod genuinely felt like a coffin, suffocating and claustrophobic. I tried to calm myself down and get some rest, but I knew it was going to be difficult. What made things even worse was at that night, as the night went on, I started to hear strange noises coming from outside my pod. It sounded like footsteps and whispers. When I opened the curtain to look outside, there was no one there. I just laid back down in my pod, and after an hour or so, my exhaustion eventually took over, and I drifted off to sleep. It wasn't until the next night, however, as I climbed into my bed, I noticed a red light on the wall next to my curtain. At first, I thought it was some sort of decoration. As the night went on, the light persisted. I started to feel uneasy and paranoid, so I reported the red light to the hotel staff. They assured me that it must have been a mistake and that it would be taken care of. But when I crawled back into my pod that night, the red light was still there. I observed it closer and compared the light to the light on my camera. It was an identical match. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that someone had put a camera in my pod. I knew I needed to do something, but I was too scared to move. The thought of confronting whoever was watching me was terrifying, and I didn't know what they were capable of. But then as I stared down the camera, suddenly the red light went off. I waited for it to turn back on, but it never did. I just laid there in silence, wondering who was watching me and what they were doing with the footage. The next day, I checked out of the hotel and went straight to the police. They took my statement and promised to investigate, but I never heard anything back. To this day, the thought of someone recording me while I sleep still plays on my mind. I warn everyone I know never to stay in a capsule hotel, as you never know who might be watching.
Simple story, but terrifying story.
Yeah, I felt like that was a different taste. Like all the other ones were like monsters and stuff like that for me. And I thought this one will be different because this is something realistically human to do. They're always weirdos recording people in hotel rooms and stuff like that. Being in a coffin hotel makes it even worse, in my opinion, because you're in like
they call it that because the size of the pod is tiny, or?
Yeah, so usually they're in like a wall, like a bank of rooms in a wall, and you kind of just like climb in, you close the door, and that's it. You just have this like little pad that you're laying on, and sometimes some of the bigger ones have a little TV at the foot, about your feet, that you can kind of look down at. But yeah, you're just like sleeping in a little capsule.
I don't know if I could, man. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, they're apparently dirt cheap though. That's why people do them. It's like in condensed areas like Tokyo, they only have so much room. So like the really budget hotels, or capsule hotels there. I was just thinking like, if this was like a hostel kind of thing, right? Where you're filming tourists for someone's weird thing.
Yeah.
And so like this really kind of seems spooky and weird. And the fact that after he was staring at it for a little bit, that it turned off finally. Like they realized,
watching them. They were watching him watch them. Yeah.
Yeah. And they finally realized, well, this guy definitely knows that we're recording and let's turn it off.
Has some people talking about their fear of tight spaces. This would definitely add to it. type spaces are freaky enough as it is.
Yeah, they are. I think that's what makes it doubly spooky. Like, as you always hear about people finding cameras in regular hotel rooms, so that's creepy.
Yeah,
But
it's
the fact you're in this like capsule makes it even worse. Like, it's
Wonder how many capsules there are in a place like that. I bet there's a lot.
I don't know. Probably a lot, yeah. But yeah, I just think it's such a weird thing. And you check this, saw they look the same as camera. I wouldn't even need to check it. Like, if I saw a red light in the wall right there,
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, that's definitely a camera.
My mind would, yeah, exactly. My mind would instantly go to that. But how long ago did this happen?
This was just a couple years ago, I think.
What kind of camera it is to have for you to have a red light on? Like, you don't have to have those on. Most cameras now, you know.
I don't know.
He talked about the same light as his phone. Is that what he said?
Oh, it's camera. He was a tourist. So he had a camera. With
Okay,
him.
okay.
Yeah.
You see, what do you think? Camera these days, you instantly think
phone.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to think about that, but yeah.
So yeah, I'm guessing it must be like a IR thing or something like that. You know, some sort of.
Because he was laying there, so you assume he was in the dark.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's such a creepy thing, and you know that the people who were filming that were some really creepy people.
It's like the red light from the keyhole story. Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Man, that was a really underrated story. Looking back at all the great stories, that's got to be up there.
Yeah. That one, you really don't realize how good that one is until the very, very end.
Yep. When it's over, then it all hits you. You're like, oh my gosh. This is a cool story, though. It could obviously happen to anybody.
Yeah.
It's something to make you wish if something happens like that, and I would suggest anybody else, just pull out your phone and just start recording. Whatever you can pull out and start recording, I would for sure.
Yeah, record it and then give it to the police immediately.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Also, maybe later to help you not think you're crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Some of these things, it'd be like, you'd start questioning yourself. Like, was that real?
Anytime you're in a strange place, a strange hotel, give it a quick once over, look around, you know? You never know what you're going to see.
I feel like you're sharing some life-changing advice right now.
I always try.
I don't think I could be in a tight space. I don't think I'd be comfortable in a tight space like that tight.
No, probably not.
Well, maybe they're used to it, you know, they're like, it's different world, man. So different area.
I don't think I can get used to it myself, but I would like to see one. Oh, that's cool.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like lay in there for a little while, but the whole night, man, that'd make me go crazy laying in a thing like that.
Yeah, no kidding. I would consider it if I had a full room to step out into, like, you know, like a bed built into the wall kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, not to just be shut off and in there and that's your room.
Yeah. A nice story to end on. Definitely creepy as heck. There's so many stories out there. Remember the one story we shared about the camera and the teddy bear thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good story too. This reminds me of that. These creepy camera stories are always good, you know?
Yeah.
And you know it happens to people all day, every day around the world.
And it's always some weirdo doing it, seemingly.
We won't know this one though who was doing it, but
yeah,
like we did on the other one. But we can only imagine somebody that worked there, you know, maybe doing something creepy.
Yeah,
that's probably most likely, but certainly not it. I mean,
yeah. Then the worst part is they could easily say, "Oh, it's for security," and so we have security tapes or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. So that no one would get in trouble for it or whatever.
Would you be able to sleep after that?
No, I would definitely get a different room at a different hotel if I was still in Tokyo.
Yeah, you might. So you're saying you at least get out and ask for a different room?
Yeah,
I would too.
And if I couldn't get another room there, I'd probably just leave that hotel and go to another one.
Yeah, I don't think I'd pretend like nothing happened. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but then again, what are they filming? I'm not doing anything. I'm just laying there.
Yeah, I know. It just makes it seem even weirder though. Like,
yeah,
they just want to watch you sleep. That seems horrifying.
Yeah, you're not doing anything because you can't do anything in there but sleep.
Yeah,
that's actually extra weird. Like they're gonna get to see anything. You're just sleeping.
Yeah,
but some people are into wear some weird stuff. I don't know, man.
Yeah, apparently.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?